a trick. You guys want to learn a trick today?
Yes.
All right, so this trick is going to help you be able to understand what you're reading. Okay, it's called sentence unpacking. What is it called?
Sentence unpacking.
So when authors create sentences, sometimes they put a whole lot of information into one sentence, and it can make it tricky to figure out what the sentence is about, okay? So we're going to learn a process to help us figure out what does this sentence mean, okay? All right, so you're going to be reading a story called The Coldest Place on Earth. What's the story called?
The Coldest Place on Earth.
So this is a sentence that you'll find in that story, okay? I'm just going to put this on underneath. So when you're reading that story, you're going to find this sentence. Can you read the sentence with me?
These penguins spend most of their lives in the freezing cold sea.
So here are 3 questions that we're going to ask to figure out what's going on in the sentence, right? We're going to ask these 2 questions. We're going to find out who is in the sentence or what is happening, and what else? What are some other information that's in the sentence, okay? So if we think about this sentence that we have up here, it says, these penguins spend most of their lives in the freezing cold. So who is the sentence about?
Penguins.
Some penguins, and some type of penguins, because it says these penguins, so it must mean that there's a special kind of penguin, right?
Yes.
So it's about some kind of penguin. So we know that, right? Then it says that, what are they doing?
That they mostly spend their time in the water.
Okay, so what they're doing is spending most of their what?
Lives.
So they spend most of their lives. So most of their life is spent. And then we have to figure out doing what? So most of their lives are spent doing what? Spent.
In the cold.
So we just say in the cold.
In the water.
And then what other information did we find out? It says the what?
The
Freezing cold
sea.
Sea. So we know that the sea that they're in, the sea, is freezing cold. So it's not just cold, it's what? Freezing cold. So that means it's mostly what?
Cold.
What's frozen sea? What it would be?
It would
Ice, right? So from this sentence, we know that there's some kind of penguin. We don't know because we're just using this sentence. It spends most of its life in the cold sea, right? And we know that that sea is what? Not just cold, it's what? Freezing cold. So it's just more than cold. It's really cold, right? So we know that. So here it was pretty easy for us to figure out who was in the sentence, what was happening, and what other information that they gave us, right? So now we're going to look at a different sentence, okay? But we're going to ask the same questions that we asked the first time. We're going to look for what?
Who, what, and what else?
Okay, who, what, and what else? Okay, so let's read the sentence together. It says, barrel-shaped and heavy, emperor penguins have wings too short, making them unable to fly. So with this one, is who this sentence is about? Is it right in the front?
Yes.
No, it's not right in the front. And we have this comma right here. So we have all of this information right here, but from this all the way to our comma, do we know who the sentence is about yet? No. So sometimes authors don't put the subject of the sentence right at the beginning. And I'm just going to show you a picture of this because it says barrel shaped. So these are pictures of barrels. You guys seen these before?
Yes.
So that's a barrel. So something is shaped like this, right? Something is shaped like one of these. Okay, so we don't know yet what that is, right?
Yeah.
So, but we know that something is going to be what? Shaped like a barrel, right?
Yep.
shaped like a barrel. So that's the first part that we know. And then if we continue reading, what does it say?
Emperor penguins have wings too short, making them unable to fly.
So now do I know who the sentence is about?
Yes.
Who is the sentence about?
Emperor penguins.
So now I know. So after the comma, it tells me that the subject or who the sentence is about is the emperor penguin. So now I can add that. So now I know that the emperor penguins are shaped like barrels. Okay, what else do I know from that first part? Barrel-shaped and heavy. So I also know that the emperor penguins are what? Heavy. So that's some other piece of information that I now know. So I also know that emperor penguins are heavy. So now what else do I know about them?
That they have
wings
too short, making them unable to fly.
So now I also know that emperor penguins what?
Have
Have short wings. So emperor penguins have short wings. And then what else do I know about them?
That they can't fly. They're unable to fly.
And unable to fly means that they can't fly, right? They can't fly. All right, so let's look at the sentence again and see, did we get all of the information that the author put in there out of it? So let's see. Barrel shaped and heavy. So we got that they're shaped like a barrel and that they're heavy. Emperor penguins have wings too short. So we have that they have short wings, making them unable to fly and that they can't fly. Right? So here's one sentence and look at all of this stuff that's in there. That's packed in there, right?
Yeah.
So again, we found it because we asked who, what, and what else, right? You ready to do another one?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, let's do another one. Here's another one. You want to read it together?
Yeah.
Okay, let's read it together.
Covered in a thick layer of blubber or fat and hairy penguins, shiny feathers act like a heavy waterproof jacket.
So what's the first thing we're going to ask?
What? It's covered in thick layers.
Who? We're going to ask, who is the sentence about? Does it tell me right at the beginning?
No.
No, because these commas right here give me some information, but it doesn't yet tell me who it's about. Okay, so what's the first chunk? What do I know in this first chunk?
It's covered in thick layer of blubber.
So something, right, is covered in a thick layer
Of blubber or black.
of blubber. So that's one thing that I know. Then I also know that what? What is this?
Blubber.
So I know that blubber is what?
It's fat.
Blubber is fat. Because it tells me that, right? So then, if I keep reading, what's the next part?
Emperor penguins.
Okay, so now do I have my who the sentence is about? So, emperor penguins. And what about them?
Shiny feathers that act like heavy.
So one part is that they have what? Shiny feathers. So they have shiny feathers. And I'm just going to put EP for emperor penguins. Have shiny feathers. So that's one thing that I know. Their feathers are what? Shiny. And what else do I know?
They act like a heavy waterproof jacket.
So what acts like a heavy waterproof jacket?
Their feathers.
So is it the penguin that acts like a waterproof jacket, or is it the feathers that act?
The feathers.
Yes, it's the feathers. So the feathers act like a waterproof jacket. And what does it mean to be waterproof?
That it won't get wet. It won't get wet or get soaked.
Right? So a waterproof jacket means that those feathers keep them what?
Warm and not soaked.
Warm and dry, but probably dry because it says waterproof, right? And the jacket keeps you warm. So yeah, so it keeps them warm and dry, right? So let's see if we got all the information out. You want to see if we got it all?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that they're what's covered in a thick layer of blubber? The emperor penguins, right? So that's our first chunk right there. Do we have that they have shiny feathers?
Yes.
And do we have that the feathers act like a waterproof jacket?
Yes.
So these are all the pieces that are in that sentence. This is all the information that the author packed in there. Okay, so now, do you guys want to try it with a partner?
Yeah.
Are you sitting next to your partner?
Yeah.
You are? Okay, I'm going to put another sentence up here. And I want you to go through this process with your partner to see if the next sentence I put up, if you can find all the parts that the author packed in that sentence. Okay? Okay, so everybody has their partner. Here's your sentence. So let's think about this sentence. We can read it together. Do you want to read it together?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Okay, here we go.
Covered by a thick blanket of snow and ice that never melts. Antarctica is the iciest, windiest, emptiest place on Earth.
Okay, so now with your partner, you guys want to talk about all these parts. You're going to find out the who is the sentence about, or what is this sentence is about, what's happening, and then what else? What other information can you get? So let's see if you can find all the parts of the sentence, okay? All right, go. So we have to ask, what is covered by a thick Do you know? Yeah, because after that comma, you see that's what it was. In the other sentences we saw, after the comma is what it told us, right? So you're right. So that's the first part. That's one chunk, right? Is that we know that the book is what? Oh, Antarctica. Okay, now get the next parts. What about it? What about Antarctica? Keep going. Get all the parts. Okay, so what are all the parts of the So let's look at the sentence. It says, covered by a thick blanket of snow and ice that never melts. Antarctica is the iciest, windiest, emptiest place on Earth. So this is the sentence that we're trying to unpack. So what's the sentence about? What is the coldest place on Earth? Antarctica? Okay, so we know that it's the coldest place on earth. What else do we know?
And the
A big blanket of what?
and it is very cold. And they always
So what does that mean?
always try to stay dry. And when the males come back, the females go into cold. And when it's everybody has to stay inside or they will get cold.
So what else do we know from the sentence? What else do we know? What other information is packed in there? Okay, did we get that from that sentence though? Does that sentence say that? Remember, we're trying to unpack the information that's in this sentence.
I watched this guy.
Okay, so let's look at here. So covered by a thick blanket of snow and ice that never melts, Antarctica is the iciest, windiest, emptiest place on Earth. So what's some information that you get from that? Do you know what this word means?
It's the emptiest place in the whole.
Emptiest? You know what empty is? So empty means that there's nothing there. That's what empty means. It means nothing there. Okay? So if it's the emptiest, that is tells me that it's the most empty place, right? So there's not any other place on earth that's as empty as what place? What's the place that we're talking about? Who's the sentence or what's the sentence about? Antarctica. Say it. Antarctica. So these are all things that we know about Antarctica. So we know that it's covered in snow and ice. What else do we know? Remember this word? We know it's what? Empty. What else do we know? It's what? Because windiest means that it's what? What's there if it's windy? And the wind is blowing a lot, right? And then we know that there's a lot of what? This is iciest, so there's a lot of what? Ice, right? So those are all the things that we know. It's the iciest, the windiest, the emptiest. We know it's covered in what? Snow and what? Ice. And what do we know about that snow and ice? But it what? It never melts. So that means it's always like that, right? So those are some of the parts that we know about it. And what's the place that is in the sentence? The who? What is this place?
The ice can melt.
Antarctica, right? So remember, if we ask the who, what about, and what else, it'll help us to get all the information that an author has in the sentence. Class? Yes. All right, let's turn back around. Let me hear what you found. What are some of the parts that you found in this sentence? Okay. Okay. So we know that something is covered in a thick blanket of snow and ice, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay? Yes.
Other things participate, walrus, sea lions,
And do we get that from this sentence? Because what we're trying to do right now is unpack all the information that's in this sentence, right? So what's in this sentence that we can unpack?
Can I do the what else?
Okay.
The what else is the something is ice, the iciest, the windiest, and the emptiest on the face of Earth.
And what's that?
It's Antarctica.
So let's just think about one thing. So Antarctica is what? I don't know how to spell this right. Okay, there we go. So it has the most ice, right? Because icy is, that is tells me that's the most, right? So it has the most ice, and of course then I didn't spell it right. And then what else do we know about it? What else?
It has ice that never melts.
Right. Oh, that's important, right? It's not only that it has snow and ice, but that snow and ice never melts. Never melts, right? Not ever. That's a big deal, right?
Yep.
What else do we know?
That's the emptiest place in the world.
Antarctica is the most empty place. Yes. What else do we know? What else?
Antarctica is the most windiest place in the world.
Antarctica is the most windy. Is there anything else that we get from here?
Yeah.
Is that all of the parts? Did we get all the parts? Let's reread our sentence and see if we got all the parts. Okay, let's read it. Covered by a thick blanket of snow and ice. So we got here covered by a thick blanket of snow and ice. Then what else? Antarctica. Oh, that never melts. Yes. Did we get that? Snow and ice never melts. And Antarctica is the iciest, right? Has the most ice. Windiest, has the most, is the most windy place, right? Emptiest place on earth. And we got that. Most empty place on earth. But right here we forgot to put what it was. What should go here? Antarctica. So we know, because at the beginning of the sentence the author tells us some information, but at first we don't know what it is until we keep reading. So we know that that's Antarctica. All right, so now and forever, if you ask yourself these 3 questions when you come across a sentence that you don't understand, it'll help you break down all the pieces so that you can see everything that's packed in one sentence that the author has. Look how many ideas are in this one sentence. That's a lot of ideas to be in one sentence, right?
Yes.
Right? And guess what you'll learn how to do? You'll learn how to pack sentences like that too, and to make them complex and put lots of information in them. You're gonna learn how to do that. You wanna learn how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll learn how to do that too. So today and forever, you'll learn how to unpack sentences by asking who, what, and what else. Okay? All right. Okay, stand up.